with delay. You came and you paid, surveyed the property you made. Put in an offer you didn't have to say. Higher than me for real. It's feeling like God in here. Bitch got a grace appeal. They stick with annoying what else am I supposed to feel? Won't you come in, put your feet up, how you waiting here? Let me back up while you do you, I won't interfere. Check my feng shui, I can rearrange, that's a chandelier. Get a show ready where you set it up, it's a grand premiere.
The real talking gotta make them feel. I'm something special, I ain't just a vessel. I found your word was my way to heal. Now I'm outside trying to spread the message. The devil dripping, he been causing wreckage. My testimony went from declining to the upper hand, finally gave me leverage. What I felt was a stretch, it led to agility. You were the balance, I needed stability. All the allure, spirit so pure, but Father the Son like the holiest Trinity. Open arms, I receive the blessings. In every lesson, hope to see progression. The more you lead me to community, the more I see a need for intercession. Gotta pray for.
I'll be your temple, I'll be your sanctuary. You can come dwell here. Why won't you come and fill me? Jesus, have your way.
Good evening and welcome back to the F.L.Y Show, where the F.L.Y stands for First Love You. And this is your host, yours truly, Jazzy D Mills. And I thank you all so much for tuning in with me here every single week, every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm so grateful. I am thankful because you could be anywhere else, but you are tuned in right here with me every single week. Now, last week we started off with our dating series called Dating the F.L.Y Way, dating with faith, dating with love, and dating you. And last week we talked about what does self-love look like in dating. And I told y'all last week, just for a quick recap, if you don't know how to understand yourself, if you don't know your self identity, you will always be looking for you in other people, and you can't search for you in someone else. You have to learn how to be good with yourself. You have to learn how to love yourself. You have to take yourself out on dates. You have to show yourself respect. You have to show yourself love. You have to show yourself grace. And you even have to learn how to self-correct. That's a hard thing to do, is to know when you're wrong and to correct yourself when you're wrong. It takes a minute to get there, but you have to learn how to do it. So that's what we discussed last week. What does real self-love look like in dating? In tonight's episode, we're talking about, are you healed or are you hiding? Dating while still bleeding. And can I be completely honest and transparent? So many of us, including myself, rushes back into dating after we've gone through a breakup from a relationship, after we've dealt with a divorce, or whatever the case may be. We rush back into it without taking the proper time to heal the wound that we just received, whether it was self-inflicted or it was caused by someone else. But either way you look at it, a divorce or a breakup is a form of grief. And a lot of us go through grief without dealing with it. We think that grieving is just about death. It's just about losing someone in the physical world. But you can grieve losing a job. You can grieve losing a loved one, losing a game, losing your car, losing your keys, losing your cell phone. You can grieve even losing a photo album, losing a family heirloom. That is a grief that we must heal before we dive into doing something else. You can lose a pet. That's a grief, because losing a pet is like losing a family member. There are some people that may understand that, and some people don't. But it's not about how someone else understands what you're dealing with or how someone else understands how to heal you. You have to learn how to heal yourself. And you can't take the wound that you have and jump back out here in the world without catering to that wound. We do it often. We end up, but when we do that, we put ourselves in a lot more pain than we anticipate because we don't deal with the pain that we're already going through. So this episode, we're going to be talking about slowing down and really asking yourself, have I healed or am I just covering up my wounds? So some signs that I want to talk about when you know that you have not healed. Because let's be honest, let's call an ace a ace and a spade. Okay, we going ain't no need of shucking and jiving. Ain't no point of trying to sugarcoat. Because we don't do that around here. Because if we're gonna get healed, if we're gonna be delivered, and we're gonna set free, as they say in the good house of the Lord, you got to heal. You gotta face what you want to heal from. You can't heal from anything that you're not willing to attack head on, that you're not willing to face head on. So in order for you to heal from whatever it is that you're dealing with, you got to look that thing square in the face and call it what it is. Okay, let's call it out. Dating while broken is messy. So some signs, we're gonna go over a couple signs that you're not healed yet. Okay. One thing is sometimes we get in a relationship and we compare. The spirit of comparison is demonic. Is demonic. You compare one ex to the person that you're with now, and the two are not the same. They may have some of the same characteristics, but the two are not the same. That lets you know that you're still hanging on to whatever the person may have done. You're still hanging on to the identity and the idea of the ex that you have not healed from. You're still hanging on to the traumatic experience that you faced with that person because you have not taken the time out to confront what it is that you dealt with. That joker broke my heart. Let's call it out. I broke my own heart when I committed adultery. No, I'm not. No, that ain't what I said. But just figuratively speaking, call out what it is that broke your heart. Call out what it is that wounded you. Call out what it is that you have to deal with. Because when you don't, you walk in the spirit of comparison and you will never be able to deal and confront what you've dealt with. You won't be able to, you won't know how to deal with it. And you will always and forever walk in the spirit of comparison. And you won't be able to understand how to receive what's really for you because you're holding on to something that's no longer causing you any happiness. What took your joy, what stole your peace, you're still holding on to it. You holding on so tight that your knuckles didn't turn another color. Let go the spirit of comparison in order for you to move on. And not only that, you become jealous and you don't trust. But it ain't for a reason. It's without reason. Somebody's cell phone can go or they can pick up, do their phone like this. And here you go. You get mad. You get jealous. And you cause an argument for no apparent reason. That lady ain't doing nothing but picking up her phone, checking a text message from her child, or checking a message from her job, or checking a Facebook post, or whatever the case may be. And we walk in the spirit of jealousy. Sometimes we can even be jealous because the person that you're dating has a great relationship with their children's parent, your great co-parents, or you have a best friend that they can get jealous because their best friend is not like that. You can get jealous of the person that you're dating because they have a great relationship with their parents. This is a thing. We walk around in a spirit of jealousy, not just a spirit of comparison, but a spirit of jealousy. And you don't trust. It makes it hard for you to trust because you have not dealt with the things that you've been through. You have not conquered what you've carried. You have not come through that. And sometimes, not only that, you need consistent and constant validation in order for you to feel secure. If my man don't tell me I look good, then I'm ugly. If I post a thirst trap picture on Instagram and I don't get 1,000 likes, I'm ugly. If I'm on a dating app and I don't have 30 people wanting to date me, I don't look good. Said who? We body shame. There are some full figure women and some nice sized men that are looking to be loved properly. But in order for us to understand how to be loved properly, we have to know that validation has to come from self. Everybody else's validation is just extra. Because like I discussed last week, you have to learn how to speak God's words over your life. Pay attention to what he said you are. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are above and not beneath. You are the head and not the tail. You are the lender and not the borrower. You are a royal priesthood. These are things that you speak over yourself. You don't need any additional validation because you were created in validation. You became valid before he formed you in your mother's womb. He knew who you were going to be. So we don't have to walk out here seeking man's approval when you were already granted authority to be who you are. We seek so much from people that we miss what God has already said. And tag I'm it, because I was there. Sometimes it's like I'm asking a question. What do you think about this? Or how do you feel about that? And even recently, I've had to catch myself with asking well, what do you think about me type of question. Granted, it's easier said than done, but it takes work. I'm not going to sit here and preach about stuff or talk about stuff that I don't have to work on, that I have not had to deal with, because then I will be a hypocrite. Because I can't show up here acting like I'm perfect, because, baby, I am not. You ain't made it and you have not arrived until you leave this world and meet the pearly gates wide open. That's when you've arrived. Until then, we are all still on a journey of healing and trying to figure this thing called life out. But you have to deal with these things. You can't walk around here wanting to give all your dramas and your traumas to other people. You have to learn how to deal with these things head on for yourself. We trauma bond and we hold on to relationships and people that we're traumatic, that we traumatically built. You went through fire and brimstone. So did I. Let's be best friends. Okay, well, it's time for me to start healing. Come on, best friend, let's heal. I don't want to heal. I want to stay right over here. I like my trauma. I like bleeding on people. I'm accustomed to it. I'm accustomed to hearing the validation from other folks. I don't want to hear what God got to say about me. I don't want to be healed, delivered, and set free. I want to be in bondage. If that's what you want, then do you do. But there are some of us that want to heal from this crap. We got enough going on out here. I don't need to be sitting here alone by myself with my thoughts, and my thoughts are not pleasing. My thoughts are not pleasant. My thoughts are not of joy. My thoughts are not of peace. My thoughts are not of elevation. I can't sit here with demonic mindset. I can't sit here with, oh, woe is me thoughts. I cannot. I can't do that because I can't fully get what God has for me because I'm so stuck on what I've been through. I'm so stuck on who hurt me. I'm so stuck on why they did that. I'm so stuck on why they passing over me. I'm so stuck on I don't look good to them. I can't be stuck on that. I have to love me for myself, but I have to do my own work. I can't look at Sue and Sister Cantaloupe to do the work for me. I got to learn how to do it on my own, right? And what that does sometimes as well, it builds a wall so high that can't nobody get in it, not even the God himself. We go through so much hurt and so much trauma that we shelter ourselves from the world, from our children, from our family, from not being open to receive love again, to not caring for ourselves, wanting to stay in the house all the time. We go to work, come home. Go to work, come home. Go to work, come home. And no disrespect, but sometimes we've gotten so accustomed to not associating ourselves with people and being amongst people that we've become so dependent on these Uber Eats, Instacart, Ship. Everything is coming to the door so you won't have to interact with people. You don't want to face people. You don't want to face society. You don't want to step out into the sunshine. I can understand if you need those services. I can understand if it's a necessity because you're disabled or you have some type of mental illness going on where you can't step outside of your home or it's a problem. Then I understand it. But if because you're just choosing to do it because you don't want to deal with nothing and you don't want to face what you've dealt with, you're going to have to come up out of that. You're going to have to come up out of that. There is so much love on the other side of that wall, but the only way that it can get to you is if you start taking it down brick by brick. You have to start the work on tearing down your own wall. And some signs that you may be ready to do that. Because on the flip side, yeah, we done did all that, signs you still bleeding. But here are the signs when you know you've healed and you ready to date. When you start to feel at peace with your past, when the emotions that that could be evoked out of you from your past are no longer there, and you've gracefully dealt with that trauma, you may be ready. You can talk about whatever has happened to you when there's no sense or sign of bitterness. You might be ready. And one thing is you're also clear on what you want. You're clear on what you want, but you're not so desperate that, oh my God, today is Thursday. I want to be in love completely and fully by Friday, tomorrow. You're not so desperate to get what you want that you understand that it takes time. It can take a week, 2 weeks, a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, however long it's intended to take. You're up for that journey because you know you deserve what the outcome is going to be. And most importantly, while on the journey, you begin to enjoy your own company. Because a lot of people can't sit by themselves. A lot of people don't want to sit with their own thoughts. A lot of people has to be around somebody because they don't want to be alone. Because being alone means I have to think about everything. Being alone means everything that's in my head is now loud. I don't have any distractions. And now I got to hear this stuff. Being alone means that you really have to focus on doing your work and you're able to pinpoint your problems. That's what being alone is. But when you start learning how to enjoy your own company and your thoughts don't shake you in no shape, form, or fashion, when you're ready to face it head on, that's how you know you're ready. That's how you know you're ready. And so, for some practical ways, to start healing before dating, go to therapy. Okay? There is nothing wrong sitting on a couch, a telephone, a computer, the camera, face to face, in the flow, under a tree, in your car, on a blanket, on your patio, in church. There is nothing wrong with going to therapy. Sometimes prayer, fasting, and therapy is what you need to get through your journey. It will help you heal. And another aspect that you can incorporate in that is journaling. I just talked about this last week. Journal your journey. Get a prayer journal. Pray over the things that you want to heal within yourself. Write out the heartbreaks that you want God to heal you from in your journal. Write out what you want to deal with. Get it out of you onto paper. Write the vision, make it plain. God, heal me from this heartbreak. Heal me from depression. Heal me from sexual trauma. Heal me from sexual abuse. Heal me from that breakup. Heal me from divorce. Heal me from that job loss. Heal me from my relationship going wrong with my children. Heal me from my relationship going wrong with myself. Write out the things that you want God to heal in your life. Write the vision and make it plain. Because you can't heal from it until you face it. Surround yourself with people that can speak life into you. And not only speak life into you just on an all-day positive note, but that can hold you accountable. That's not going to see you teetering to the left and not check you on it. Surround yourself with a community that you trust, that are in the position that you want to be in. Listen, I know you've been through this. Can you help me navigate through my journey? Can you help me walk through this process? That can be a form of therapy. Building a community is therapeutic. And most importantly, you have to learn and understand the meaning and the importance of forgiveness. You have to forgive the person that did what they did, even if that person is yourself. You got to release that trauma, release the ex, release the family member, release whatever, release your mistakes, release your bad habits, release your bad thinking, release your bad decision making. Healing is not an instant process, but it has to be intentional. If you don't show up with the intent on I'm going to conquer this thing if I die doing it, you will forever remain exactly where you are. You don't want nothing different. So you got to ask yourself, what am I supposed to be doing different than what I'm doing right now? Because it ain't getting me nowhere. I'm still unhappy. I don't have joy. I don't have peace. I don't have nobody that I can call on. I feel like I'm by myself and the walls are closing in and I don't know who I can call. I got to call on somebody. God, tell me, what am I supposed to be doing? That's exactly where he wants you at. But we are so afraid to be vulnerable. We are so afraid to open up. We are so afraid to let him in for the healing. And we are so comfortable with being uncomfortable. We're so comfortable with being heartbroken. We're so comfortable with being depressed. We're so comfortable with being sad. We're so comfortable with feeling like we're destitute. We're so comfortable to feel like we out here in the pasture with nobody, because that's what you want to feel like. So ask yourself, are you healing or are you hiding the wounds that you have? Don't date to hide your pain. Heal so you can date in freedom. And I want you to declare over yourself, I am whole and I am healed. I attract the love that I deserve because that's how God created me. Because I live in God's love. God, I ask that you heal the broken places in us. Heal the broken places in everyone that is under the sound of my voice. Remind us that you are close to the brokenhearted. Teach us the love and waiting in your timing, and prepare our hearts for the love that reflects who you are in us. Amen. Thank you all so much for joining in with me here on this episode. Am I healed or am I hiding? Dating while still bleeding. Again, we're in our dating series, Dating the F.L.Y Way, Dating in Faith, Dating in Love, and Dating You. Next week, come back, join me back here Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The next series episode is going to be Loving God, Loving Me, Making Space for Wholeness. I look forward to seeing you then. And as always, remember to first love you because you absolutely deserve it. Good night.